Did he do this too?
Soldats are some of the most interesting and varied creatures that Ethan Winters will encounter during the events of the game Resident Evil 8 Village. Created by one of the four lords, Karl Heisenburg, Soldats come in many different shapes and sizes, showing off the many experiments that Heisenburg was conducting in his factory. The result of mechanical modifications on the human body, enhanced with the powers of the Cadou, Soldats make for exceptional soldiers that can be quite difficult to put down. The story of the Soldats as we know them begins with their creator Karl Heisenburg and his desire to overthrow his mother Miranda. When Heisenburg was a child, like several children of the village, he was kidnapped by Miranda and used for experiments in her Cadou research. And though he would have arguably the most favorable affinity for bonding with the Cadou of anyone, he would still be deemed as unfit for her needs. However, unlike the other four lords who were used in similar experiments, Heisenburg resented the role that Miranda had forced him into. Heisenburg saw himself as Miranda's puppet, too weak to fight back against the incredibly powerful woman, but unwilling to resign himself to servitude for the rest of his life. So, using his incredible talents as an engineer and the powers of Miranda's Cadou, Heisenburg would begin planning a revolution within the depths of his factory. But Miranda had powerful allies, not only within the ranks of the four lords, but also in the hordes of Lycans that she had at her disposal. So, Heisenburg decided to create a few loyal soldiers of his own. Heisenburg would call these creatures Soldats, and from the bodies of the village dead, they would be created. Night after night, he would rob graves of their bodies and take them back to his factory for experimentation. At first, his creations were rather simplistic. A male corpse with a Cadou instead of a heart, reanimated through electric shocks. However, these early models were quite weak. Soldat version 1.01 failing to even defeat a single Lycan. But as time went on and new parts were added, headgear to stabilize brainwaves, a drill arm for destructive capabilities, moving the Cadou to the chest for more effective movement, these Soldats would quickly become much more formidable. To fight a war against Mother Miranda and her forces, though, Heisenburg would need versatility within his ranks. So he would begin experimenting with giving his grotesque creations a variety of abilities. Soldat jets would be capable of short bursts of flight, with extra headgear to stabilize them in the air. Soldat panzers would be outfitted with greater defenses, aluminum shielding to protect their chest reactors. With these creatures, Heisenburg would plan his rebellion. He would create unstoppable metal monstrosities capable of aiding him in his conquest to defeat Mother Miranda. Soldats are some of the most brutal enemies that Ethan will encounter during his trials. Well suited for carnage thanks to the constant tweaks from their creator. And with the hundreds, even thousands that Heisenburg seemed to be preparing, there's no doubt that when he decided to strike, it would have brought a very bloody rebellion to this isolated Eastern European village.
I'm not like my friend. So I need